We're here with Ryan's deck profile. He went 5-4-1
Yeah.
at Nationals, and this is his Herald of Perfection deck profile. So, do you want to get started?
Let's get started. So, obviously, 3 Heralds of Perfection and 3 Cyber Angel Benton. Completely undisputable. Like, if you're playing Herald, you have to play this. The Benton is by far your most important. It searches basically anything in your deck, so you run 3. Herald is your beefy boss monster, so you run 3. Often what I've been started doing is trying to pump out at least 2 Heralds on my first turn, and that way if I get Kaiju'd, I've still got a Herald to back me up. And yeah, in this deck, at this point, it burns through these 3 very, very quickly. So don't run anything less than that. I'll just put those aside. So next we have 3 Manju, the 10,000 hands. Again, you can probably get away with 2, but it does eat up your normal summon, but it's just such a good searcher that, again, it searches your main combo pieces, so I run 3 of him. So then, again, another standard bit of Herald is Stick and Chair. So those who don't know what Stick and Chair does, basically, when you have these, it's a 2-card combo. When you have these 2 in hands, normal summon that, special summon that, then chain that card, or you activate this card's effect to search out another one of those, special summon that, then special summon the 3rd one, and you can do a combo that gets you 3 draws, or potentially 3 draws, popping an opponent's card, and a Delsaros or an Ouroboros. So yeah, again, this is the main kind of, this is how you break boards, and how you deal damage in this deck, so some people don't run it, but most people do. Next, 2 Honest. You can run 1 Honest or no Honest. This deck...
Or 3.
Or 3. 3's a bit cloggy.
3 is a bit much.
And my philosophy with this deck is that the Benton Herald combo can search out basically any like fairy, so you don't want to draw into Honest, you want to search it. You want to draw into your searching spells and combo pieces. You don't want to draw into Honest and things like that. They're not great first turn, but for the rest of the game they're fine. That's why you can get away with 1, because you can just search it, and there's even things you can do to recycle that 1 Honest. I run 2 in my main for this event, just because I don't know what I'm going to come up against. It's discard fodder, and again, you might need to. I don't think I actually needed to at any point, but I don't really know what else I'd put a 1-off for there. Yeah, but yeah. So on to now Effect Veiler. Firstly, it's cheap. Secondly, it's actually pretty decent, pretty standard hand trap. Very straightforward. I don't think I need to explain it that much. Well, what I should say is that often when I sided these out, because they're probably one of the least important parts of the deck. Especially if I was going first, I'd definitely side these out because they're a bit useless. And also, Herald of Perfection does Herald does the meat of your negations. So you don't want to be relying on Effect Veiler to stun people. You want to have used it once per game, basically. So next, I have Eva, and I'll bring out its 2 counterparts. Some people run 3 Eva. Those people are idiots, no offense to them, but that just clogs the deck up so much, and you just don't need to, because again, you can get away with 1. You don't want to draw it first turn, but you search it through Herald, and this 1 card is effectively 3 negates, because when it goes to the graveyard, you can banish it, banish 2 of the light fairies in your grave, and if you've been clever with how you play, you'll have 2 light fairies in your grave. Then you can search out these 2, which can either be used as more discard fodder, or you can summon Cyber Petty's Angel to summon Benton, again, your main combo piece, or you can use a Herald of Orange Light in kind of a clinch thing to... It's a shitty hand trap, but it's still a hand trap, and it did win me. It won me in my last game, so yeah. So it's really not too bad a card, and you can even get synchro plays with it, though I don't really do that much. Next, we move on to spells. So 3 called for very, very obvious reasons, especially for this deck, which really, really doesn't like to get stunned. It's a stun deck, but the combos are actually quite fragile. And so yeah, you run. Yeah, I don't really need to explain much more. Next, again, another standard 3 of Ritual Sanctuary with 2 terraforming. Mainly because you want to see Ritual Sanctuary a lot, but you don't necessarily want to see it too much because
you want to see sometimes.
Yeah.
To quote the memes.
I'm not aware of this meme. I'm gonna have to research.
We're gonna have to. We need to make you aware of this, and you will be enlightened.
So yeah, again, I suppose. Yeah, I guess I've explained it enough. I'm assuming anyone who watches this video is at least somewhat aware of how Herald works.
Yeah.
The Ritual Sanctuary is a very important card, but it's not absolutely essential, I guess, is a good way to justify a number of terraformings. You can very easily win without them. They're just good for searching that one combo piece you don't have. And occasionally Ritual Sanctuary, its secondary effect, people forget about it, but it's very good late game. I special summoned a Herald by shuffling in 6 spells.
That's quite nutty, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great card. So yeah, now 3 Dawn, again, because you have 3 Heralds.
Yeah, you kind of need it.
Yeah, and again, Dawn, the 3 Benton, 3 Heralds, they're your combo. That's your main combo. 3 pre-preps.
Obviously, to search your...
To search all your shit.
Pre-prep, then you prep.
Yeah, and obviously you have to go pre-prep before you prep, or else it just doesn't make sense. Pre-prep is a +1, so you run 3 of it. Prep is potentially a +1, depending on if you can do... I found you can do some clever stuff where you don't activate Dawn's effect in the grave, and then you can activate pre-prep to add Dawn back to your hand, search out either a Herald or a Benton, and then get a second Herald. So not only is it just a good searcher, but you can do some clever things with the secondary effect. And again, it's great that it's at 3. It's really giving this deck a nice bit of consistency, because it used to be okay with consistency, but it's definitely getting better and better all the time. So now extra deck. Firstly, I'll start with the ones that are essential, because most of the extra decks just Reaper targets. Akashic Magician, which I unfortunately didn't use at this event because I'm still not used to using it, but there is a combo you can do that allows you to do the Star Seraph combo twice, which is basically 6, or at least in that's basically 5 draws through that combo, and potentially bouncing an opponent's monster. So yeah, run. Again, it really didn't come up often. You need to fulfill some weird conditions for it, but you have the space for it, and it is very powerful if you can get it off. Stone Knight, Deltros, and Ouroboros. These are the 2 boys that you'll go into with the Star Seraph combo. Deltros for second, Ouroboros for going first. Ouroboros can send a card randomly from your opponent's hand to the grave. And Deltros can pop things, so he's good. He's great for breaking boards, especially because with the Star Seraph combo, that grants a pop to the monster, so you can pop 2 by summoning him. Just fantastic, especially Deltros, fantastic card. He's like by far the best choice to go into, but Ouroboros is for going first, or if you've already burnt through Deltros and can still do Star Seraph. Next, and this is probably the last really essential card in Ptolemy M7. Unfortunately, there were times throughout this event where I was really tempted to use him. I think I actually did use him in one game. I can't remember if I won, I can't remember who it was against. But an old card, but an old rank 6, but you basically go into it with 2 Heralds. Good in those kind of clinch victories where you just need to remove an annoying obstacle, because he bounces things, and he has a pretty beefy attack. So yeah, old but gold, and yeah,
using gold. So
yes,
yep,
he's a very pretty card. So next I've got Dark Rebellion XZ Dragon. These are the less important. This is basically rank 4 toolbox in 2018. He gets over big things, and I did use him in a game against cubics of all things. And it was because this player kept setting his Ghost Reapers, which were useless against my deck. And Reaper has 1800 defense, so I couldn't get over them with my Herald. So I was forced to go into him to destroy the Reapers. It was pretty strange.
But it came up, so it's a good thing that you ran it.
It's there just because this deck isn't very... It's okay at beating over things, and it has things that can beat over things, but that's one of them. Abyss Dweller... I don't think I've ever actually used Abyss Dweller, but I was told to run it.
Yeah, it's good if you make it, but you have to be against the right deck to be able to use it.
Just the start did not align. Baguska,
the best rank 4.
It's great. Yeah, great rank 4. Used it at one point, and then the player spent 5 minutes pretending that he didn't know what Baguska did.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like it's the best rank 4 in the game at the moment.
Yeah, it's not like this isn't a card that everyone knows, and I should have not have been so nice. I'm too fucking nice. People next to me were telling me to call a judge, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I should have, because it meant that I drew against fucking for hire. Like, I shouldn't swear because of YouTube.
Monetization. No,
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's fine.
Okay.
The occasional one is fine.
Now, next, I'll go burn through these quickly.
Yeah.
Reaper targets, which I'll...
Yeah.
Oh, this one isn't. There was also an Electromite in here, just in case. So, again, these are cards that a lot of people are playing at the moment. Is this short?
Yeah, it's you have the space for it, so you might as well play as many Reaper targets as you can.
The only one that actually came up was Kagari against a Sky Striker Draco.
Okay.
So that's the only time I ever actually... Oh no, actually, I used it against this ABC player, and the look on his face was...
Yeah, I mean,
he'd already been getting very upset at Herald.
Yeah, using that against an ABC player is game over for them, basically.
Yeah. He was already in pretty bad state as well.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole match, he only drew, like, the ABCs, like, once.
Oh, no.
I know he was only, like, one of them, so he did not get good draws. I feel sad for him because he was a kid as well.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Or about, like, 16 or something.
Yeah.
Finally, again, never came up and was borrowing it, but it's just because there are a couple of tuners in there, including Herald of Orange Light, which you can theoretically special summon with Ritual Sanctuary. You can go into him for, like, some kind of clinch victory situation that never really came up. But there might have been a couple. I'm just not used to using... I'd like to figure out how to use a couple synchros in this deck. I just don't have good synchros. Yep, so now we'll move on to the side. So I had a Dark Hole and a Raigeki, which I was borrowing some from someone, and they've left.
They've left us, so you had to give it back.
They were useful, very useful for going second. Just for... the Raigeki won me a game where I was against a kid playing Goki. He linked out, like, a U-shape.
It's called an extra link, Ryan.
An extra link. But he did not have the Nightmare that protects from destruction.
Which
he's
an idiot for doing that.
Yeah. I had a completely jank hand, top deck Raigeki, played it, and then he scooped.
Which he shouldn't have done. He should have waited for the response.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know. He did say to me that his deck at that point was, like, completely burnt out, but... I guess technically mine wasn't, and I could draw into something. This deck sometimes has complete jank hands, and one thing can change that.
Yeah.
Which is one of the kind of fun things about it. Next, 3 Lava Golems. These never came up, but basically, for removing annoyances in the 3rd game, and just to burn people because of the new match proceedings, because of how dumb they are, but...
It's pretty
dumb.
Burning for 2k or is it a K?
2k, I think.
2k. Yeah, burning for 2k in your opponent's turn is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in my last game, a guy tried to use Cowboy against me. And I liked it. The last game I had was great.
Yep.
So next we have... And this is, I guess, something a bit more interesting. 3 ties and a barrier statue. So basically this is in so that you can lock people out with barrier statue of the heavens. Sided out because there are a lot of, like, decks out.
I mean, Trickstar's out there, and that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So a lot of decks that this doesn't really work, and also I went up against Magnite in votes, so a lot of decks that this doesn't really hurt. And the main thing is that you can side the barrier statue without these. And I did in one duel just because it was a bit clunky. I'd side these in if you're going first because you want to get them first turn. Otherwise, I'd just side in the barrier statue. And again, I did that in one of my games to great success, and the barrier statue basically won me the game. It was again, I was sitting on it for like 3 turns while we were kind of gradually drawing cards. It was great. But yeah, and then the ties actually lost me a game. I think. It was probably a really jank hand anyway. So, but yeah, it's a very very powerful lock if you can get it right. You search out Honest with the ties, and then use that to protect the barrier statue. Next, Free Mind Crush.
Lots of searching goes on, so I think this is a good...
self-explanatory. Use it if you're going... I used it if I was going second. First, first. And I did get it. I got rid of two of someone's Lost Worlds.
That's pretty good.
Against Dinos. I still lost. That was the same one in which I lost because of ties, basically. But
okay.
That was like the one good play I made. Finally, 3 Reapers, because as you saw, I had a shit ton of Reaper targets.
Yeah. You have the extra deck space, so you might as well. Right?
Yeah, there are only 4 or 5. Essentially, only really 3. If anything, the 2 rank 4s are the only super essential. A Kaishik Magician is great if you have it, but I was playing for a long time without it, and it was fine. And again, I don't really go into that often. Ptolemy M7 I go into not loads, but it does come up. But it's good to have a bit of a rank 6 toolbox, I guess. Photon Strike Bowser is another decent one. There's probably a couple times where I could have gone into it, and it would have been okay. But yeah, so I think that...
Yep.
Oh, well,
I was going to say, any changes you would have made to the deck going forward?
Again, this is obviously like the first time I really kind of messed around with this build, and I've, I guess, not played loads recently. And what I found kept happening was I would burn through my resources so quickly, which is in some ways a good sign because it says that the deck is still very fast, and was very, very consistent, which was great because a lot of times it's had horrible consistency. But it's good to see those problems are fixed. But the solution is hopefully these 2 cards, and basically these are just more targets for your ritual searching things. But they are very good cards on their own. Cyber Agent Lighterton buffs everything by 1,000 attack, buffs all your rituals by 1,000 attack and defense, and because the Dawn of the Herald adds it back to hand, you can reuse it, and so you can get some pretty beefy heralds. A 3/8 herald is pretty good. Machine Angel Ritual can either let you do combos that search out bits and bobs, or it's very good fodder for a Ritual Sanctuary because it has protection effects in the grave, and it's a searchable spell, which again, so you could summon Manju, then use that to search for that, and then discard. I mean, you probably wouldn't do that, but something along those lines. They just allow you to do more things, and I found that I'd run out of things to do, and if I had those, I could do more things. But yeah, so I think that concludes the profile.
Yep. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see. I'll try and get you on stream to play Herald at some point. But yeah, thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Go follow the Twitch stream, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.